Hi everyone, my name is Ronak and I'm here with my team to introduce you to our Capstone project Henna. This project is sponsored by Arsh Huck and Joel Porter.
Hi, my name is Kobe Norcross, and I'm going to go over the motivation for this project. To start, I'm going to give more information about Arsh. Arsh is a professional DEI consultant, previous co-founder of multiple projects, and director of the Portland State Business Accelerator and adjunct faculty. An important definition to know when talking about this application is what a DEI consultant is. According to Culture Ally, a DEI consultant is a specialized professional who collaborates with organizations to develop, implement, and evaluate strategies that promote DEI in the workplace. A current problem in DEI training is that training in isolation often fails to make a significant impact in the workplace. The primary reason is that such training typically focuses on employees rather than addressing the entire organization. As argued by Dobbins and Kaleb, the key to improving the effects of training is to make it a part of a wider program of change, which highlights the importance of tackling implicit bias as well as structural discrimination. As you can see from the graph created by Arsh, traditional training methods like annual training sessions and book clubs, while affordable, have a low impact. On the other hand, solutions that provide personalized feedback and listening tours are what organizations are asking for, but these tend to be more expensive. Personalized feedback is not focused on training, but rather providing insights and recommendations that are specifically relevant to the organization's DEI goals. Organizations are having tightening budgets for DEI work. Software companies noticed that they could automate DEI work to help with the tightening budget. So Arch observed that current DEI focused software such as BlackGPT, Diversio, Culture Ally, and Diversity address other DEI related issues but lack team specific feedback, identifying a gap in the market where personalized feedback is not provided to organizations. The solution that we're providing is the development of an affordable SaaS platform where teams can train their own AI-powered DEI consultant. This innovative approach allows organizations to receive personalized feedback tailored to their specific needs.
Hi, my name is Stephen, and I'm here to walk you through the project description for Henna. What is Henna? Henna is a full-stack web application that was built using GPT 3.5 Turbo, which is OpenAI's generative pre-trained large language model. And what Henna does is help organizations align their actions to their values, and a value just represents an organization's primary focus in regard to DEI and can be used by an organization to train Henna.
Hi everyone, I'm Ronak and this is a demo of Henna. This is Henna's landing page. It shows some information on what Henna is, what the Henna application does, as well as some information on our founder. At the upper right hand corner, you can see a button to schedule a call with our founder to get started using Henna. Or if you're already signed in, you can go to your Henna dashboard. Since I'm already signed in, I'll go to my Henna dashboard. The Henna dashboard shows your organization and team that you're currently on. To switch to a different organization, you can simply go to the admin page. The admin page shows a list of all the organizations that you're on. To switch to a different organization, you can simply click on this join button and join the team that you would like to switch to. Once you go back to your Henna dashboard, you can see your updated organization and team on your dashboard, as well as your update on your profile section. To chat with Henna, you can simply click on this button, which takes you to your most recent interaction with Henna. If I scroll all the way to the top, you can see that it first asked me if I was comfortable having a conversation, some information on my background, and some personal values that I strongly resonate with. I told it that I felt strongly about inclusion, integrity, teamwork, personal growth, and well-being. I then gave it a task to add my personal and organization values to revise the syllabus. It then responded with a revised syllabus and added information like conducting inclusive feasibility studies and market analysis under course objectives, designing plans that prioritize sustainability and well-being, fostering inclusive workplaces, implementing ethical practices, and promoting personal and professional growth. It also added under prerequisites understanding diversity, equity, and inclusion in business, and DEI focused workshops and guest lectures under course format. It also added material under textbook and resources and assessment specifically related to organization values and DEI. I then gave it another task to revise an email, keeping in team's values and DEI initiatives. It adjusted the wording a little bit and added some material on collaboration and inclusivity. Next, my teammate Steven will show you how to consolidate organization and personal values under the team page.
So here on this team page, we can access a table of our team members and get some basic information about them and our conversations with Henna. So as you can see on this table here, we have a list of our teammates and whether they have started a conversation with Henna or not, and whether they have moved on to discuss their values or not. Below this table is a button, and by clicking it we can generate a report that sort of summarizes their conversations and which values are coming up the most. This report also gives an organization recommendations on how they can improve. So let's look at this report. This report has 5 main sections. The general insight, which is basically an introduction and just gives us a brief look into what kind of conversations that our teammates are having with Henna. The next section is aggregated values, and this section just summarizes which values are coming up the most in conversations that our teammates are having. For example, we can see from this section that our teammates are talking a lot about inclusion, integrity, achievement, and teamwork. Next is the alignment section, and this section just details how an organization's values are aligning with the values of their employees or teammates. The following two sections are probably the most important sections, 4 and 5, and these gives an organization recommendations on how they can improve. So section 4, this section outlines how an organization can improve its values. For example, we can see here that maybe they should focus a little bit more on achievement and just acknowledging achievement. The next section is section 5, which it's a little bit more specific and talks about how what kind of events an organization could implement, for example, like workshops, or maybe they can improve their feedback system, or maybe they can just celebrate diverse achievement more often. So and then this all finishes off with a conclusion right here. So next we'll walk you guys through the main features of Henna. So for the main features, an organization can train an assistant with a value. A user can sign up for Henna at the organization. And once they're signed up, they can have conversations with Henna, and those conversations will be saved so user can always refer back to them and build upon them. Okay, finally we're going to talk about conversations, and this is probably the most important feature of Henna. So once a user signs up for Henna, they can use Henna for 3 main purposes as shown in the menu attached. First, a user can talk about their own personal values and see how they align with an organization's values and goals. Next, they can always ask Henna about an organization's values, and Henna will output a list of values and go over each of them and how they relate to an organization's goals and what they want to accomplish. Finally, Henna will act as a DEI consultant and can reply with feedback on how a user can better align the actions with an organization's values. So for example, let's say a user was planning on sending an email. They can send a draft to Henna, and then Henna will revise that email just to be a little bit more inclusive or just align a little bit more with an organization's values. And all these conversations and users can always refer back to them. They are saved in the Your Conversations tab, so a user can continue to build on them if they wish to. Okay, so let's talk about users. So when a user registers for an account on Henna, they can send a request to join their organization and team. Then at the organization and team, an admin can either approve or reject this request. If the admin chooses to approve this request, then the user is added to the organization and team, and then they can have conversations with their AI assistant for any DEI related inquiries. A user can join multiple teams in an organization, and they can always freely switch between them in the account tab. And by switching organizations, this gives them to various Henna chatbots, each customized with their own values for a particular team or organization.
Values are a critical feature in Henna. It allows for team members to engage in conversations about their own personal values and how they align with their organization. As shown in the demo, Henna started by gauging the user by listing out common values like curiosity, inclusion, and teamwork, among many others, and asking which they most resonated with. The chatbot then asked the user of a time they felt their values were upheld in the workplace and when they thought they were challenged. Henna then consolidates these interactions into a comprehensive team report. This report includes insights into aggregated individual values and an analysis of how these values align with organizational standards. Team members don't need to worry, as the report keeps all interactions anonymized to ensure privacy. The team report also creates recommendations for enhancing organizational values, such as utilizing collaboration tools that support inclusive participation and teamwork, and implementing DEI workshops. By using this feature, Henna ensures that the organizational culture supports the diverse values of all the team members, creating a more inclusive and productive work environment.
Hello, my name is Phil. I'll be going over the additional features that weren't initially part of the project scope, but were integrated later to enhance functionality. First of all, we have the dashboard for administrators to manage and maintain their organizations, specifically chatbot usage. Second of all, we also implement error handling in the back end to maintain logs errors and ensuring the application runs smoothly and issues are addressed. Lastly, we also added in a loading screen for all the pages and made a bunch of additional front-end changes that were necessary to both refactor the front-end side to make it much more accessible, but also make it much more smooth for the user themselves to use. Continuing on, I'll be going over the future features that could be integrated into the project, such as an analytic dashboard for administrators to monitor performance, usage, engagement, and effectiveness to enable data-driven decision-making, developing voice integration capabilities to make the application more accessible and user-friendly, advanced personalization features that allow the chatbot to adapt to its response based on user preference, and analytics dashboard for administrators to monitor metrics to enable data-driven decision-making, real-time supports that connect users with experts with detecting situations requiring human intervention, support for multilingual support to aid with non-English speakers, account for frequently asked questions, or rather quick replies that are commonly asked, and lastly, adding on interactive polls and surveys to gather user opinions on DI topics.
Hi, I'm Andrew. Here's how Henna Chatbot works as an overview. Firstly, we have a connection between the front end and back end. The front end allows the user to interact with the pages. This includes firstly authenticating, which the user needs to do to get into the site, and then it allows them to access operations such as messing with their account, updating their account, stuff like that, and then obviously the Henna Chatbot feature. And then this all connects to the back end, which does the work behind the scenes. Diving deeper into the front end, we see that once the user interacts with the front end, they need to authenticate via clerk. This requires a username and password and makes an account for them. And then after this, they can access the pages, which is the home. And this allows them to firstly do stuff such as viewing their account, which allows them to edit their information, such as deleting their account, showing pending approval, stuff like that. They can join a new organization and team. They can change their organization team, mess with their account in general, that kind of stuff. And then secondly, allows the major interaction of Henna, which is chatting with Henna. The three options are first talking with Henna about values, then second start talking about organization values, and finally getting feedback. And then an important thing to note is that there's history with these, so you can see in the past what conversation you've had. Behind the scenes is all kind of done with ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo, but in the future we can change that and the user can access multiple LLMs. Diving a little bit deeper into the back end, once the user makes a query request on the front end, it is sent along the routes and then it gets authenticated. Once it is authenticated, we send it to the controllers, which gets the data access from the Prisma database. The information stored in the Prisma database is history information from the request so that the bot itself has context and history about the conversation so that it knows what you're talking about and can assist with your issue. And then this total block of information with your new request is sent to the GPT AI. And then the information coming back from the GPT AI is streamed, which means that it gets it word by word and it doesn't reply in a huge block of text all at once. So you can kind of see what the AI is thinking and how it's typing everything out, kind of like a human. And then this kind of does your request in real time.
Hello, I'm Nahom, and I'll walk you through the development process for Henna Chatbot. The development process for Henna Chatbot was divided into three main phases. First, we had the planning and research phase where we defined our project goals and objectives. We conduct the research to understand the necessary skills to get the functionality wanted and gathered requirements to ensure our solution would be effective. This phase also included creating a detailed project plan and timeline. And as a team at this stage, we were all strangers and it was a bit awkward as we get to know each other. Next, we moved into the initial development and iteration phase. During this stage, we set up our development environment and tools. We focused on developing the core features and functionalities of the Henna chatbot, and this phase was iterative with continuous testing and improvements to refine the product. And as a team, as we worked on more collaborative assignments, our communication improved, cameras were turned on, and we started to talk more in meetings, building a stronger team dynamic. And finally, we reached the final implementation and testing phase. Here we completed the development of all features and integrated them into the application. We conducted our testing and debugging to ensure the product was reliable and ready for deployment. This phase also involved preparing for the official launch of Henna Chatbot. And by this point, we had grown closer as a team and our collaboration was seamless.
Hi there, I'm Hannah, and I'm going to be talking about some of the challenges that we faced over the duration of our project, one of which was deciding on a testing framework to utilize for our end-to-end testing. And this is something that we tackled by reading into the documentation for all of the frameworks that we were considering, and then selecting the one that we believed worked best with our already existing code base. We also had some issues with local testing, primarily revolving around the database and account creation within the database. And these issues were addressed as they came up by discovering the underlying source of the issue and problem-solving solutions, whether this is for specific individuals or for the whole group. Finally, we also had some issues that revolved around this being a group project, because for most of us, this was our first time working in a large group like this, so there were issues revolving around time management, source control, etc. And these were things that we had to work out as they arose. Additionally, there were some unexpected events that we ran into over the duration of our project. For example, there was a situation in which data was being unintentionally removed from the database, and this is a problem that was fixed shortly after we discovered it by working out what the source of the problem was, this being a command that was related to the database that was running during our local setup. Similarly, there was some issues, some unexpected issues that we ran into when we were starting to filter selections with the Prisma ORM. This being that we hadn't anticipated that Prisma would not allow includes and selects at the same depth level, and our current infrastructure for selects was not prepared for that. So we had to look further into the Prisma documentation to discover the best way to set up our select statements so that we could address this issue.
Hello, Nahom again. For customer feedback, let's hear from Ash, the project director.
This is Arsh, founder and CEO of Henna. When it comes to customer feedback, we ran a 3-week pilot program with about 25 users at Portland State University and heard two main things. In terms of things they really liked, it was great to sort of not have to personally reach out to me, provide a bunch of context about a situation to get feedback. They were really excited to get similar quality and style of feedback. In terms of areas of growth, though, it was kind of general. There's a lot of context-specific elements that I'm able to provide of like, oh, I've been an instructional designer before. I can work with the curriculum, help apply culturally responsive pedagogy. And the chatbot couldn't do that. It was a little more high level than that. So moving forward, something that we're hoping to integrate is really specific technical skills integrated with that personalized DEI feedback. And as far as where users are using the tool from now, it sounds like some of them are still using it, but it's sort of low touch engagement moving forward.
Hi, my name is Kaleb Abay. I'll be talking about the lessons that we've learned throughout the making of this project. I'll be reflecting on the successes that we've had, as well as the challenges that we faced and how we've overcame those challenges. So, arguably the most important one was team collaboration. We utilized Discord for our daily communication, Zoom for our weekly meetings with Joel, our sponsor, and GitHub for source control and task tracking. Next one is our technical skills. We developed a robust web application with a backend in Node.js, a front end using React, and integrated it in with AI technologies like GPT 3.5 Turbo. Okay, next is our problem solving skills. We faced some challenges here, but through addressing each one, whether it was tracing backend issues to their root causes, handling merge conflicts, or ensuring our application could handle unexpected user inputs, our team developed a keen eye for detail and a systematic approach to solving software problems. Next is time management. Many of us experienced scheduling conflicts between our project and our other coursework. We've learned the importance of prioritizing tasks, which allowed us to focus on critical milestones first and manage our time efficiently. Another one is integrated development. By using GitHub, we've managed our code base effectively, preventing conflicts and ensuring code quality, regular code reviews between each other, and our sponsor Joel fostered a culture of feedback and continuous improvement. Last one is scalability and future proofing. By designing our AI chatbot to support multiple AI models, we've prepared our system for future expansion and integration of advanced technologies like Minstrel AI and Claude AI.
Next, I'd like to recognize the outstanding contributions of our team to the Henna Capstone project. Nahom, Andrew, and Steven worked on developing API calls and routes for organizations and teams in Henna's backend. Phillip, Nahom, Steven, and Kaleb established Henna's testing framework and wrote tests for simulating user interactions. Kobe, myself, and Steven implemented responsive pages and components. Kobe also advanced the front-end development for Henna on mobile. I also worked on refactoring controllers to use a new error handling system and added animations on the user interface for ease of use. Hanna worked on efficient data retrieval from our database, enhancing performance and reliability on the backend. Each of these contributions has been pivotal in driving the project forward and ensuring our team's success.
We are deeply grateful for participating in the Hanna Resonate project. It was a wonderful and memorable learning experience as our Capstone project. Each of us walked away with obtaining some sort of new skill and learned a lot of valuable lessons throughout this project. Most importantly, we will all treasure the experience as we move forward in our careers. I would like to have a special thanks to our wonderful sponsors, Arsh and Joel. Their involvement and support were instrumental to the success of our project. Once again, we would like to express our heartfelt gratitude for their support. Thank you.